ReverendCrystalCox, Goddess Church, Port Townsend, bbgoddesschurch@gmail.com to donate to our church. And I have been reading The Awakener. In the description of this video, there'll be a link to a full playlist of this whole book, Awakener, read by me and adding lib. There's really cool information on twin flames, on raising your vibration, on dimensions, on just, you name it. The right to decree, universal law. Like I said, the previous 130 pages are in the description link of this video for the full playlist. This is an incredible book. Okay, let's see. So we're talking about. Never mind. I'm gonna watch the previous video anyway. Okay. Peace finally returns to pervade your shattered space, and you recognize your own personality again. Some of what occurs begin to make sense. You even start to view the experience as a positive one. Slowly you reach a space where you're starting to think it may be possible. You're going to be able to live the life you want to be able to live again and find peace. Okay. As you continue operating in the divine flow of love and light, on some level, they will recognize and they will know. All of the other people that, thought you, whatever. But I don't really care. Here's the thing. Once you know, right? So I have had incredible visions into other realms. I travel in my dreams. I know I'm dreaming, not full out lucid dreaming. I'm practicing on that. And I have studied channeled information for 35 years. I have channeled and been in touch with that other realm my whole life, though I didn't really know at different points what it was. And then the last 10 years, even another profound level, the last 5, the last 3, of incredible visions. And today, just lay down and close my eyes and had this, it's kind of like the Mad Hatter hat, but it's like the top hat, the steampunk, and just this incredible, it's kind of a black hat kind of mystically in the air, and all of these strings of colors coming out. And I will see, sometimes I'll look at a candle flame, and then I will see magenta, this total saturation of a magenta color as a flame, and I'll see it with my eyes closed, and I open my eyes. And I had been doing this in the vehicle on and off quite a bit. And now the colors change, but now, like even in a lighted room, I can see it. And I can see, I know there's no death. I've left my body. I've talked to people on the other side. I've seen so much that someone could sit here all day and tell me they don't exist, but I've seen it. So I don't really need other people's validation for what I know, right? And I wish that for you too. Okay. Realize now that along with the great wisdom and truth, you also received misinformation. As much of the data received appeared to be coming from the Ascended Masters, one now needed to reassess all input, going deep within to seek the truth, right, of what is your truth. It was necessary to do a lot of inner work, passing through the distrust and apparency of betrayal, releasing everything not in accordance with divine order. One needed strength to reestablish faith and trust in the whole process. In reaching to the God Most High, one gained the absolute truth of the loving dedication given for so long to earth and humanity by the beloved Ascended Masters and cosmic beings. Thus, one passed a major initiation and moved fully into the service role. At the stage of completing one's own understanding of the whole episode, bringing you to a beautiful place of deep truth, you are in a position to really help dispel predictions of fear and chaos. Because oftentimes, predictions, like in most of my videos, a lot of my videos, you see me talk about the movie Tomorrowland. So they've convinced you that this is happening, fear and chaos and all that, but you're creating it. By them convincing you it's happening, you're creating it to happen. Okay, so work in pure truth and integrity. You are now able to spread positivity, certainty, and love. You agreed long ago to everything that occurred. Every part of it was necessary. You were a bridge, a way shower for your fellow team of lightworkers. Just as the rest of the magnificent team on Earth are creating a wonderful bridge of light for humanity to follow. You were a test pilot and have blazoned a trail. testing the ground and clearing the way for others to awaken and proceed with their own clearing process in a gentler fashion. You need to know that when you originally agreed to be one of this team, you knew it would be tough, but you also know that you are invincible. Someone had to create a map, a known path, as well as clear out any opposition. As you know, it takes quite a while to recover from this fast route. Just imagine if the entire team had to go through that. The recovery time alone would be detrimental to the progress of the mission. I can totally relate, right? I have done and been through what I've been through, and Spirit showed me that I've done it for my team. So I've done it for everyone that comes in with my frequency, everyone that sees these videos. My energy field goes out into the universe, the cells of my body, my thoughts. When I do the work on something, so say you have, you have kids, you have pets, you have just so much going on in your life all the time, and a job, and under so much, you don't even look up. You're not on any sort of spiritual journey at all, or going through. You're just kind of in this path, and other people don't have that. Like, I don't have kids, I don't have plants, I don't have a home, I don't have any responsibilities. Well, you know what I mean, to a certain extent. I don't answer to anybody, and so I have the time to go deep and then to recover. Okay? If I had children, that would be harder, because unlike parental people in my life, let's just say that, we put all of your emotional burdens on your children. They see you crying, they see you want to die, they see you going through, it's nice to be able to go through it for the other people in the team, creating a cure, creating that energy and the frequency, so they don't have to go through it, in front of their children. Let's just leave that there. I will talk lots more about that another day. Okay. You were a bridge, a way shower for your fellow team of light workers, just as the rest of the magnificent team on Earth are creating a wonderful bridge of light for humanity to follow. You need to understand that when you originally agreed to be one of this team, you knew it would be tough, but you also knew that you were invincible. Someone had to create this known path, as well as clear out any opposition. And it takes a while to recover, and a lot of people can't do it. The other mission team really needed to approach their awakening more gently. Not because they are not tough enough to take a fast walk awakening. Oh, I'm not tougher? Oh, I see. But because the path they create is the one laid down for humanity. What? You are adding light to this path as well, but your blueprint is different now and cannot be used really to create this pathway. Okay, so the people that do the deep work like I've done, create, okay, right, I get it. So I have done the work. I have cleared my traumatic lines. I mean, not 100%, but I've spent my whole lifetime doing it. I have went through things that I've created a cure. And so people, like I said in the last video, people that have been through emotional abuse, physical abuse, all kinds of, drug addictions, whatever you've been through, you create a cure in the energy field. Okay? So the people that have dedicated their whole life to it, which people like me, especially the last, since I heard about the quantum effect, the shifting realities being literal, that taking responsibility for every program, every feeling, every trauma, and going into that and doing the work. It's not easy. But I've done the work on those things, and I've created the cure, and I've created the frequency, but I'm not the human that will walk that path. So the other humans, so they're the ones that are going to benefit from the people that do this deep work, because they bring it into form. They bring it into physical. It's almost like theoretical magic and practical magic. Okay, that's a great example. I know, thank you. So I'm creating a theoretical magic, and then a lot of you out there that will be listening to this are using it in a practical magic way. So in regular life. I don't want to say 3D, I don't mean lower frequency, I mean just a very physical life. Okay, you are adding light to this path as well, but your blueprint is different now. Okay, you are now carrying the manifested blueprint of the new combined physical light body for all the light force and humanity. As each light worker choosing to transmute their physical form, Reaching this stage of absorption, he or she then joins with the existing carriers of this blueprint. And as we've been ascending and as our body's been changing, for the first time in all the realms, we are taking our body with us in ascension. So the timeline's collapsing because a lot of the timelines weren't real. They weren't the organic timeline. They were all these other timelines picked from parallel realities from every choice we did or didn't make, every version of us collapsing into this body, in this density. And as you're going through it, you will gain a bunch of weight. Your body needs to have that, and then you'll lose it later. It is a density, and then it integrates and it becomes light. Okay, so so our body's turning into a crystalline structure from a carbon-based structure. Again, ReverendCrystalCox@gmail.com if you have any questions about any of these topics. As you have realized, that was just one stage in a series of tasks. By now you have completed further phases of your mission tasks. You have joined with your I Am, regardless of whether you are still at this moment fully combined or not. In future, you have a choice of operating with or without this connection. Again, the combination of you coming back to you. You have replaced ego with the divine will of God. To the degree that you are able to maintain positive thoughts, you will be combined with your I Am. You may have found that during this period, the sudden requirements of being combined with the I Am and having to be 100% positive in thought was a great strain. You think? Hello? Alrighty then. Some triggers and some things you walk through more difficult than others. But keep being gentle, keep moving through. Okay, at the end of this period, if you felt you were not at the stage yet of being able to never think a negative thought, your I Am would have needed to separate out from you to whatever degree was necessary to maintain absolute purity. That's why we have so much that keeps coming up, too, to keep purifying, integrating. Thought produces instant creation in the higher dimensions. The merging of the incarnated soul and the I Am can take quite a period, sometimes years. The time does vary because each individual differs in his ability to incorporate this energy. You will probably have by this stage chosen which abilities to keep in order to complete your mission here. Now you are awakened as agreed and were in place by the end of 1990. Now you are fully in service. And a lot of this stuff, like you'll see as I've read the whole book, a lot of you are going through this now. So don't pay any attention to time, plus time doesn't exist in all times at once and blah, 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 anyway. Now you are fully in service, with an absolute caring for every human being and every living thing. The emotional body has been disintegrated during your traumatic adventure, and although for a while it may have seemed as though you will never feel another emotion again, this changes. You will find you have now readopted some emotions to keep you in the realm of remaining real to others who cannot yet identify with detachment. Right, so neutrality is the goal. A lot of people identify caring by the display of emotions and do not realize that absolute spiritual love lies beyond the emotional band. You may also be allowing some emotions belonging to your twin or other aspects to be transmuted through you. Well, that's awfully generous of me. The emotions you do take back will be genuine, but in truth, your own have been stripped away. Right, because you don't have the triggers, you don't have the... This is a high state of being, so do not misinterpret your detachment as a lower state that requires you to work on raising your buried emotions. That's like, when I counsel a lot of people on death, it's like, yeah, it's sad, but it's really a thought. What are you thinking about that person? And that's what makes you sad. When we lose people or we lose things in our life and we're really, really sad about it, we're not, it's a thought. We could focus on just, oh, that was nice, I'm glad I had that experience, and I'm glad to know him, and I know there's no such thing as death, and I'll see him again, and feel into that moment. But when our wound is hit, and it's our ancestral line, it's wounds from us in other realms, it's stuff we got from this lifetime and other, other versions of us, and we have to transmute that. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, you've joined with your I am. Regardless of whether you are still at this moment fully combined or not, in the future, you have a choice of operating with or without this connection. You have replaced ego with the divine will of God. Okay, so we're heading towards the neutrality and the detachment of emotions. So when like for the example of when you lose somebody, it's a trigger. It's something that was already in you. So it attracted to something that happened before in some other version of you, and it's a body thing. You feel it in your body because it's in your body, your ancestral line, your etheric field. So you don't really have to put a story on it and, oh, I miss this person and death and the whole. So the more you hang on to the story, and it's very electrically charged, it'll just vibrate you and it'll just feel bad and icky and you feel like you're dying and you want to die and blah, blah, blah. And then just like grief and sadness. But like I was talking to a friend earlier, how would I know it was grief and sadness if I didn't know what grief and sadness was? You know, what if it was just a bellyache? Or like, oh God, not this again. I got some sort of an allergy. I looked at a yellow rock. Right? I go, oh no, it's grief, it's sad, it's bad, and I want to die. But we put that definition to it. So if you just look at it in the body, and just focus on where it is in the body, and just let it dissolve. And it gets less and less, you know, the millionth time you do it. All right. Right, so we're headed to a place of detachment and neutrality. You made it through. You are not insane. Or if you are, there are a whole bunch of us right there with you. What is insanity anyway? Often one is deemed to be insane if one sees or hears things that others cannot see, and that is not therefore reality, as the majority deem it to be. And all reality, as you know, is subjective perspective anyway. We project our reality. Yes, well, I guess we are top candidates. It takes being multidimensional to see and hear things that others can't. The difficulties lie in the initial stage of being thrown in head first. Before we are able to differentiate between what is actually in the solid third dimension, and consequently is part of the reality of others, and which things you are perceiving that belong to the fourth, fifth, and higher dimensions. With a bit of luck, some of the team may have kept quiet until it was sorted out, but this is doubtful. If I'm part of that team, keeping quiet's not my thing. The nature of the events usually warranted contact with friends and family. Just seeing in the astral plane can be difficult enough. Trying to tell someone about it that can't see it, can be difficult. It's a white coat brigade for you. Anyway, eventually you figured it all out and sorted out those parts that belong to the third dimension. You then got used to the fact that this was all most people could see. You also had to realize that the incarnated soul around you could not see the higher purpose in their actions. That was visible to you, and that was tricky. Hopefully you figured it out and quickly reestablished your sanity before they locked you up. Let's face it, it was trauma for us. Yeah, a bit. But it can't have been too easy for the people around. Yeah. What a shock for the... It's your experience. Blah, blah, blah. They judge you, they can run along and move out. Okay. You released yourself from the confines of the physical universe. Everything is perfect, divine order. That's where you're headed to. Yes, it was the toughest thing you've ever experienced, but you will only go through it once. Now you are able to withstand anything in the universe. Just be your wonderful, loving, dedicated, true self, and never compromise that. For any reason, or any purpose, or any commitment, or any person, never ever compromise your true self that you know you to be, to the best of your ability in that moment. And you know what's like, this is what I want to do, but this is what I'm going to do. Now you are able to withstand anything in the universe just as your wonderful, loving, dedicated, true self, and never compromise that. As you walk now without ego, loving all life, needing nothing and no one, feeling the wonder and joy in the connection of your twin, know that you are a true child of God. Inherently within you now lies an absolute resolve to complete your mission and do everything you can to bring Earth to the oneness of love. The moment is close at hand where you will see all life go free. You are but a breath away from being united forever with your twin flame and going home. Now you know you are a master. Now you know you are invincible. I am the light of God that never fails. Because I am thee and thou art me. I am the illuminated presence, power, and protection, drawing into my care every living creation on earth, under the protection of the divine love and radiance of God. Shantarn, by Sandy Stevenson. And Shantarn is spelled S-H-A-N-T-A-R-N. Okay. It's going to read you this last little page. It's a tiny page. Starseed announcement. Major completion. Earth is now functioning on the new higher vibrational ley line system. On the 25th of November, 1996, our beloved Earth, and a lot of you are just feeling this stuff now. Our beloved Earth gently and quietly slipped free the ties of the denser energy ley line system she has used since the days of Atlantis. Beginning at 11 a.m. on 11/11/96, with the new moon and ending with the full moon energy on the 25th, the Earth Mother worked systematically with the light force across Earth to access the codes for the precise mathematical sequence needed to complete the ley line changeover. During the last 4 days, thousands of light workers carrying the last codes were drawn to the magnificent Cornish coast of England. Here, in a special place with the moon's energy shimmering through the ocean waves, at midnight on the 25th, the blue and gold rays poured down through the Atlantean laser crystal, and the last of the four corner cords holding the old ley lines was cut. Earth stepped free and gently rested upon her new place, attuning joyfully to her new, finer vibrational web of golden light. She now has the springboard that permits the final stages of her ascension, estimated by many ancient philosophies to be completed by 2012. Okay, so a lot of you are experiencing this now, learning about this now, but in 2012, it is said we died, we left, we changed, the timelines collapsed, and humanity was not ready to fully integrate a new Earth. So we're in this rainbow bridge now. We're in, say if you're going from 3 to 5D, we're in 4D. So in 2012, at the end of 2012, was this major shift. And a lot of people say, you know, the Mandela effect, which is actually kind of a quantum effect or shift, a lot of people have seen it for a decade. I seen it clearly of what it could be in the physical as of 2016. But my life completely changed in 2012. Like before 2012, I lived somewhere that I'd been for I was fifth generation Montanan. I was in a certain career, a certain lifestyle, relationship for 16 years, a certain groove, like I had everything, and then boom, gone, done. Completely different reality, which is actually more true to myself, and that's a bumpy roads on it. But 2012 was that changeover. Begun so very long ago, the light force have maintained their dedication in focusing light into sacred sites and ley lines access points around the world. The multidimensional purposes of flooding the earth with light include gently cleansing the earth's physical and subtle forms, thus permitting a transmutation of denser energies without the need of major upheavals in its land masses. Right, we went to other dimensions. It seems like upheavals when we were in completely different geography and astronomy and anatomy. And okay, so channeling light to the evolved inner earth civilizations who direct it through the crystal and mineral kingdoms deep within the earth. You know, like Agartha, Hollow Earth, civilizations within the earth. And right now, I mean, we might not even be in that form. We're like in the Matrix. We're in the computer code. We're in the Rainbow Bridge. Okay, channeling light to the evolved inner earth civilization who direct it through the crystal and mineral kingdoms deep within the earth, assisting the release of all emotional bodies, the structure of a new frequency ley line, to allow the final stages of Earth's ascension, holding the axis steady and balanced, permitting the reestablishment of the missing energy symbols through the use of crop circles, gently increasing the vibration of the animal, plant, and elemental kingdoms, and raising the consciousness of humanity. Which has always been and still is the mission of my church and my ministry, is to raise the consciousness of Mother Earth and her people everywhere that we can, that I can. The new energy grid and ley line system was created 18 inches above the old one, and was then slowly moved down to a position just above the old. This is interesting because I think it was Sylvia Brown, but there's just a lot of stuff that where people think they see people hovering, right? They're like ghosts or whatever. But really they say that that other dimension is 18 inches off of what we know is our ground. And so it seems like they're a hovering ghost, but really it's just into another dimension. Some people might see this as shadow people, but really they're just at the veil. They can see this other dimension and get a glimpse of it, and at some point, we will fully integrate into that. Okay. The new energy grid and ley line system was created 18 inches above the old one, and that's where your people are beckoning to you to come. And a lot of you are seeing this as shadow people. That's not really what it is. They're not it's not a negative. This was to ensure that switching from one to the other would not cause disruptions such as earthquakes within the structure. The new system provides the same paths with the same sacred sites, but has more extensive pattern or finer lines, with a far greater number of access points around the world. This permits light to be flooded in from millions of additional new points, thus creating speeding up of the access to the light. The new energy grid and ley line structures and the handing over of the scepters, SCEPTRES, was a vital step in the completion of the divine plan for Earth, and necessary before any of the original contracted teams could depart. All teams or individual team members will leave when all their own tasks, agreements, and ascension requirements are completed. Words cannot describe the joy and magnitude of this major achievement for the whole Earth. And then it's Shantarn again, Sandy Stevenson. It says confirmation, Sanat Kumara, planetary logos, through the grace of the ascended realms of light. Oh, there's some more things to read. Okay, well, I'm just going to read until this stops then. Apparently there's a few more things. Unconditional love. Love without condition. I love you as you are. As you seek to find your own special way to relate to the world, I honor your choices to learn in the way you feel is right for you. I know it is important you are the person you want to be, and not someone that I or others think that you should be. I realize that I cannot know what is best for you, although perhaps sometimes I think I do. I have not been where you have been, viewing life from the angle you have. I do not know what you have chosen to learn, how you have chosen to learn, with whom, or in what time period. I have not walked looking through your eyes. So how can I know what you need? I allow you to be in the world without a thought or word of judgment from me about the deeds you undertake. I see no error in the things you say or see or do. In this place where I am, I see that there are many ways to perceive and experience the different facets of our world. I allow without reservations the choices you make in each moment. I make no judgment of this, for if I would deny your right to your evolution, then I would deny that right for myself and others. To those who would choose a way I cannot walk, whilst I may not choose to add my power and my energy to this way, I will never deny you the gift of love that God has bestowed within me for all creation. As I love you, so shall I be loved. As I love you, I shall be loved. I will not withhold or deny love for those of you on a path that is not my chosen path. For I have been given the gift of love from God, from the divine.